what's going on, everybody? This is the official hype video for our Survivor contest. I don't really do hype that well. I am joined with my pal, Andrew Champagne. We're going to tell you all about the Winners and Whiners Survivor contest. We're going to let you know what our picks are. We're going to let you know what our picks maybe should have been. And we're going to talk about just a little bit of the details about how you get signed up. We're going to talk about the prizes. We've got those ready to release. And yeah, I'm excited. Andrew, what's going on, buddy?
A lot's been going on. I spent most of the last week in New York on the East Coast. I'm back out west. So getting back on Pacific time zone is admittedly going to be a struggle. But I got to tell you, that struggle gets a lot easier on Sunday morning when I can roll out of bed and watch a full slate of National Football League games at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Best thing about being on the West Coast, man. You get up, you have a little breakfast, maybe you sneak in a walk or something, and you're ready to rock and roll, man. 10 o'clock. And yeah, and then your day it's done by like 6 or maybe like 4:30. You got you got a little bit of time. It's it's a beautiful place to live for football. I totally agree.
It works out pretty well, I got to tell you. The only trade-off is when there are games in London, they wind up kicking off at 6 a.m. But most of the time, the London games are, how do I put this delicately, hard to watch. Yeah, so, as trade-offs go, I would rather miss the London games than stay up after midnight for Sunday night football. So call that a wash.
Yeah, that's very fair. Yeah, when the Chiefs were in Germany, I think it was a 7 a.m. game, and yeah, I had to get up and watch that. So, it's the price we pay. It's worth it. It's worth it. So let's get right to it, man. We don't want to have everybody stuck in here. We're gonna grip it and rip it and just talk about the details. And once again, do not forget to subscribe to the Winners and Whiners YouTube channel. Like this video. Drop us a comment. Let us know what you're playing. Let us know if you're in the contest. And let us know if you're not in the contest. What the hell is your problem? Let's go. Let's get signed up over there. By the way, once again, just the details. It is at ESPN. They actually call it the Eliminator Challenge over there. I'm guessing somebody owns the rights to Survivor. Maybe
the band.
Maybe Jeff Probst. Maybe the band. You never know. A little Eye of the Tiger action. You never know who owns it. But we're calling it Survivor Contest. We got lawyers. We don't care. So go under there. Click into the Eliminator tab. When you search for the Winners and Whiners, written out just like that, Survivor Contest. Hit sign up. It's public. There's no password, anything like that. Best part is, Andrew, everybody that signs up, $5 store credit to spend however you see fit. You wanted to try some premium plays, but didn't want to spend a bunch of money and to dip your toe in there. Well, you can dip your toe now because we're giving you $5 to do with whatever you like. So we'll talk about the prizes here in just a minute after you and I break down the two picks that we're actually going with this week. So, you know what? You're away. You're out there in California. Kick it off, buddy. Who's your lock? Your lock.
So I hesitate to use the term lock because I am, of course, a gutless coward. But the way this show is going to work is every week, Scott and I are going to give you one safe pick and one strategic pick. The safe pick is if you're just trying to stay alive for 1 week, here's where we think you should go. The strategic pick is maybe a team where you're going, okay, I really don't want to use them later on in the year, so I'll use them now. They're in a good spot. They're not going to be in that good of a spot later on in the year, so we'll use them now, get them out of the way, and save teams for later on. We'll start things off with my safe pick, and neither of us, Scott, are going with what many people call the safe pick, that, of course, being the Bengals over the Patriots. That's a pretty big spread. The Patriots are not great, but maybe you want to use the Bengals for later on in the year, especially given a couple of concerns that we've got about their offense. You're not sure about Joe Burrow's arm. You're not sure about Jamar Chase quite yet. So we're both steering a little bit clear of that. We both wound up in the NFC South. My safe pick, as those of you watching can see down below, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at home against the Washington Commanders. And yes, I had to say that slowly for fear of saying the Washington football team or something else. Jayden Daniels may very well turn into a very good quarterback. I've got a lot of respect for Dan Quinn, the new head coach in Washington. Rookie quarterback on the road against a very good defense and a very good defensive coach. The Buccaneers offense has some weapons. I wouldn't say they're spectacular, but they're consistent. And I think the Buccaneers should comfortably wind up winning this one. That NFC South, by the way, fun division with a lot of teams that have potential to improve off of last year. And I don't know when you would want the Bucs prior to late November, early December. So it's not like we're giving you a team that's going to go 15-2 or 14-3. We're giving you a team here in the Bucs that's a 3.5, 4-point favorite over the Washington Commanders. They're at home against a rookie quarterback with a defense that's going to wind up pinning its ears back and I think have a bunch of shots at a game-changing play. Give me the Bucs over the Commanders as my safe pick for week number 1.
All right, very good. If I would have asked you before this show started, what's the weakest division in the NFL, what would you have said?
That's a very good question because how are we defining weak? Are we defining the bottom as being dreadful, or are we talking about the average quality of teams as far as...
I think average quality.
It's probably the NFC South, but I will say it's a fun division this year because the Bucs are not bad. The team you're talking about, I don't think is that bad. The Falcons have potential to move forward with their improved quarterback situation. And the Panthers can't do anything but get better, right?
That sounds a lot like the feedback I used to get when I'd have parent-teacher conferences. Scott has a lot of potential to get better. He's not good now, but we see some potential. So you probably should not send him to special school quite yet. So I just think it's funny, and you did give me the right answer, even without a rehearsal for this show, because both of our picks are going to be from the NFC South, arguably the worst division in football. So we're kicking it off strong here. And if you enjoy this, wait till we get to the next picks. You're going to have some fun there. Andrew, I am staying in the NFC South with a home team, and I am going to take the New Orleans Saints over the Carolina Panthers. You know, this I saw you sent me something earlier that said there's a lot of money coming in on the Panthers at plus 3.5 and the money line as well. Andrew, am I crazy here?
I don't think you're crazy. I think there are people asking, wait, are we sure the Saints are good? Well, are we sure the Panthers are any good here? Like, I know there's a big difference between plus 3 and plus 3.5. And I wouldn't be surprised if there are some sharp players out there that are playing it because it's 3.5 as opposed to 3. There's a reason Vegas bookmakers are in business.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And this is more of a fade of the Carolina Panthers than it is strongly backing the New Orleans Saints. And like you, I wanted to look for a team that I was probably not going to be able to use in a lot of spots throughout the season. So I wanted to get this one out of the way. And usually what happens is I go home after week 1 when I try to make a safe play like that. But we're going to see what happens here because this is a truly terrible Carolina team. And just like you're saying, Jay, about Jaden Daniels, Bryce Young, although he's not a rookie, certainly has a lot of room for improvement in that team. And this is a New Orleans squad that they've already established dominance over Carolina last year. They won in Carolina 20-17, which, if you remember that game, that was a Monday night game, and it was close. But when they played in New Orleans, it was not close, as the Saints ruled that one at 28-6. And I think, it pains me a little bit to say this as a Chiefs fan, but I think Derek Carr may be just a little bit underrated. He did throw for almost $4,000 last year, threw for 25 touchdowns and just 8 picks. No matter whether you like Derek Carr or not, you can certainly say he is a competent NFL quarterback, and I'm not sure the Carolina Panthers have that. The Saints do have a stingy defense. They improved that over the offseason. I think it's going to be hard for the Panthers to get anything going. Like a lot of games in the NFC South, this one may be ugly, but I think the Saints prevail in the end and get me to week 2.
We're definitely not going for style points on a couple of these things. These are not games that are going to be fun to watch. In the words of the great Jim Ross, in fact, they might be bowling shoe ugly. But What we're trying to do is get you through week 1 and all the rest of the other games in this particular season. As a reminder, sign up with promo code Survivor for 20% off anything in the store, and go on down below, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Really helps us out as far as giving you content like this. If you're interested in joining the Winners and Whiners Eliminator Pool, that link is down below in the YouTube description. As we mentioned, yeah, I'm sorry, Scott, go ahead.
I was just going to say, as was teased earlier, let's talk about the prizes a little bit, Andrew. First prize, we talked about it in our first video. First prize is going to be, we hire you. You become a Winners and Whiners expert, able to sell your picks on our website. We'll promo you as the NFL winner. You'll be an automatic NFL expert, and the sales should follow. In addition to that, you also get an all-access pass for 1 year to any capper of your choice. That's valued at about $1,300. Second prize is going to be 6-month all-access. Oddly enough, Andrew, that's about $650. And third prize is going to be a $100 store credit. Once again, everybody that signs up for the contest, regardless of whether you go down in flames the first week or not, you'll get a $5 site credit. So there you go. There's your prizes. Mighty fine stuff. We're giving away a lot of valuable stuff there at Winners and Whiners. So definitely make sure that you get signed up. And let's be honest, the prizes are great, but it's all about the bragging rights too. So, yeah.
Bragging rights is a very appropriate thing to talk about as we go into our strategic picks. That's called foreshadowing, kids. I will start first, and you can cue up the horns and the Prince songs, because my strategic pick for week number 1 is the Minnesota Vikings going on the road to play the New York Football Giants. Oh, the Minnesota Vikings. So here's where we're at with the Vikings. As you'll remember, last year they had Kirk Cousins. This year they thought they were going to have J.J. McCarthy. Instead, they have Sam Darnold going on his revenge tour with an opening stop in MetLife Stadium. They still have that receiving core anchored by Justin Jefferson, but there are a lot of holes on this particular team. So many holes, in fact, that I don't think you're going to get a better opportunity to use the Vikings than you will this coming week on the road against the Giants team that, how do I put this delicately, has an offensive line that looked like turnstiles at certain points in the last couple of years. It has not gone well for Daniel Jones, although I guess recently things have gotten better. Apparently he started dating Kay Adams from FanDuel TV. Good on you, buddy. But I think Daniel Jones is going to have a very long day against an aggressive defense. Not necessarily a good defense, but an aggressive defense. I don't think the Giants offense can move the ball against much anybody. And I think Minnesota wins a very ugly game. I wouldn't be surprised, Scott, if this is something like 13-3 or 13-6. Look, the true survivors of this week have nothing to do with who wins this game. It's the brave people that watch this game from start to finish. I think we can agree on that one, but we don't agree on much else with regard to this game.
No, we don't. And I love that turn of the phrase, by the way. They're aggressive, but not very good. So it means they run really fast to the wrong spot. So that's going to be exciting to watch. Andrew, my strategic pick, I've got a little bit of a different thought involved. I'm also looking at that game, and I'm going the other way. I'm going to take the New York Football Giants. No, this was not planned at all. This is just the way this came out. Andrew, I don't know how they're going to score points on the Minnesota side. TJ Hawkinson's out. Addison's nursing a gimpy ankle. He'll probably play, but how effective will it be is certainly a question. So if they double Jefferson all day, can Darnold beat them throwing to somebody else? For that matter, can Darnold beat them throwing the ball at all? Both of these running back rooms are extremely light. The Giants are going to be starting Devin Singletary. He's a fine situational back. He is not an every down back. Meanwhile, the Vikings are bringing over Aaron Jones from the Green Bay Packers. I'm not so sure how much is left in the tank with Mr. Jones. Maybe we'll give a small nod to the Vikings as far as running back goes. But here's the thing. The Vikings, they have not started well lately. They are 0-4-1 against the spread their last 5 games of September. Meanwhile, the Giants, finished on a 6-1 run ATS, 5-0-1 ATS in their last 6 home games. Yes, I realize we're picking these straight up, but I think this Giants team is underpriced here. I've got them as a money line pick, and I'm taking them in the Survivor contest as well. I'm not really taking them, but I think that would be the strategic play as we're looking for teams that we're not likely to use for the rest of the season. We've gone with the Vikings, as you're not likely to use them. Certainly not going to use them in any other NFC North matchup. And I'm going with the Giants, as I would be unlikely to use them in any other NFC East matchup against the Cowboys, Eagles, or whatever the hell. Who's the other one?
The Commanders.
Commanders. Thank you very much. I was
not the football team, not the other word. The Commanders.
Was it first in war, first in peace, last in the NFC East?
That was the Washington Senators.
I know it was. I know. I had to paraphrase a little bit for you. So yeah, that's it. I see this game just a little bit differently. I think you and I agree on a lot of things. Not going to be a lot of offense. Going to be pretty ugly. I just don't. I do worry about the trenches, but neither one of these teams has much going on as far as the trenches go. The Giants tried to upgrade a little bit along the offensive line. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how Danny Dimes, and that's really going to be the question of this game. I think we know what Darnold is, but the real question is how is Danny Dimes going to play? Is he going to be? I don't know if we could recapture the magic of 3 years ago, but at least approach some semblance of being that quality of quarterback. You know what, Andrew? I'd be happy if he played like he was paid. How about that?
I mean, that would be a nice thing if you have the Giants for sure. It's going to be interesting to watch them throughout the year. I mean, Brian Daboll 2 years ago looked like one of the greatest coaches in the league. And last year, every single thing the Giants tried went horribly wrong, often in pretty hysterical fashion. So it's going to be interesting to see which side of the coin winds up coming out on top this year, especially when, in all likelihood, he's probably, I don't want to say certainly, but probably coaching for his job.
I'd say that's almost certain. If they have a repeat of last year, he gone.
Yeah.
If they're competitive, 8-9, 9-8, maybe even 7-10. If they lose a couple of close ones, he could skate. But yeah, this is a what have you done for me lately business. And if you ain't done it for 2 years, you probably ain't coming back. So
that's for sure. Yes. So in the meantime, though, whatever game you're picking, whatever team you're picking, make sure you sign up for the Survivor contest from Winners and Whiners. It's over on the ESPN Eliminator contest page. You'll be able to find a link for that down in the description. As Scott has mentioned, a lot of really cool prizes that we're very, very grateful to our marketing department for supplying to us. So come on over, have some fun, pick some winners. It's going to be a really good time.
Yeah, and I think week to week we'll set up a little thing maybe with a headstone RIP, and we'll go through everybody that was eliminated, because that's the great thing about not doing this live. You and I can just trash talk on everybody else and totally get away with it. So
what we need is like the Hunger Games cannon to go off a couple of times for everybody.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Do we have enough in the marketing budget for a cannon, Scott? That's all I want to know.
We absolutely do not.
Good. Okay. Just I had to at least try. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
That's right. We might be going to go to small pistol with a bang flag, but I think that's probably going to top out our budget for this year. We've spent it all in prizes, Andrew. What do you want?
It's a good place to spend it.
We don't have cannon money left. All right, guys. As always, we appreciate you being here. We appreciate you watching. We're looking forward to a fun season. We're looking forward to competing against each and every one of you. Yes, Andrew and I are in the contest officially. Of course, if we win, we will bump the prize down to the person.
We will.
Yes.
We can't just claim cash. Oh, come on. Okay.
No, that's okay,
I guess.
We did our Final Four. We did our March Madness contest, and it was won by Tom Macrina over there at Picks and Parlay. So we, of course, he declined the prize. But how do you feel about the season? Have you ever done any good on any of these?
So I've done okay in the past. It's one of those instances where a company that I'd worked at previously did a really fun Survivor pool. Every Survivor pool has its own little quirks, right? Sometimes you wind up picking against the spread. Sometimes you get 2 chances as opposed to just 1. So the one thing that we will say is whatever pool you're joining, A, read the rules. B, don't miss the deadlines. Nobody wants to be the person that winds up getting knocked out of the league because they didn't pick a game 1 week.
That's right. That's exactly right. Yeah. Once those injury reports come out on Wednesday, you should have all the information you need. So make sure that you check it out when the deadline is and get your plays in. Don't get shut. Don't get beat for a bad reason.
Right, for sure.
You get beat like because the Carolina Panthers are going to be in the Super Bowl this year, and nobody saw it coming. That's a good way to get beat. So
yeah, there's no good way to get beat, but that one stings less than the others.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, guys, that's it for the show. We'll be back every Wednesday. We'll have this posted Wednesday night, Thursday morning before the Thursday games for sure. Let you know how everybody's doing, who's in, who's out, who's on a run, and who's most likely me and Andrew. So you guys have a great week. Good luck in your bets. Good luck in the contest. For myself, for Andrew Champagne, we'll see you next week. Take care, everybody.